The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, a simplified summary. Chapter 1. Tom's Mischief. Tom Sawyer is a young boy living in the small town of St. Petersburg, Missouri, along the Mississippi River. He lives with his Aunt Polly, who tries her best to raise him, but Tom is always getting into trouble. He's clever and full of energy, always looking for an adventure. One day, Aunt Polly catches Tom sneaking jam and punishes him by making him whitewash the fence. Tom cleverly persuades the neighborhood boys to do the work for him by pretending it's a privilege, and they even pay him for the chance. By the end of the day, the fence is painted, and Tom has collected a pile of treasures. Chapter 2. Tom and Huck's Adventure. Tom's best friend is Huckleberry Finn, the son of the town drunk. Huck is carefree and lives by his own rules, which makes him both admired and frowned upon by the other boys. One night, Tom and Huck decide to sneak out to the graveyard to try out a cure for warts involving a dead cat. At the graveyard, they witness something horrifying. Injun Joe, a violent and dangerous man, murders Dr. Robinson and frames Muff Potter, a drunken, harmless man, for the crime. Terrified, Tom and Huck swear an oath of secrecy, fearing Injun Joe's revenge if they tell anyone. Chapter 3. Tom's Romance and Troubles. Despite the dark secret he carries, Tom continues with his life. He has a crush on Becky Thatcher, the new girl in town, and tries to impress her. They become engaged, but their relationship hits a snag when Tom accidentally mentions his previous love interest, Amy Lawrence, causing Becky to break off their engagement in a fit of jealousy. Meanwhile, Muff Potter is arrested for the murder of Dr. Robinson, and the whole town believes he's guilty. Tom feels guilty for knowing the truth, but is too scared to come forward. Chapter 4. The Pirate Life. Feeling misunderstood and unloved, Tom decides to run away. He convinces Huck and another friend, Joe Harper, to join him. They steal away to Jackson's Island, where they plan to live as pirates. The boys enjoy their freedom, playing and fishing, all day. However, when they see a steamboat searching the river for their bodies, thinking they've drowned, they start to feel guilty. Missing home and their families, Tom sneaks back to St. Petersburg one night and learns that their funeral is being planned. He convinces Huck and Joe to return just in time to surprise everyone by walking into their own funeral, causing a joyful commotion. Chapter 5. The Trial. Tom's guilt over Muff Potter continues to grow, and he finally decides to do the right thing. During the trial, Tom bravely steps forward and testifies that he and Huck witnessed Injun Joe commit the murder. The truth is revealed, and Muff Potter is freed. But Injun Joe escapes, leaving Tom and Huck to live in fear of his return. Chapter 6. Treasure Hunt. Tom and Huck become obsessed with the idea of finding hidden treasure. They search around haunted houses and caves, dreaming of the riches they might find. One night, while exploring a haunted house, they overhear Injun Joe and his accomplice discussing a treasure they've hidden. The boys barely escape being caught and decide to follow Injun Joe to find the treasure. Chapter 7. Lost in the Cave. During a picnic, Tom and Becky wander off into McDougal's cave, a vast and maze-like cavern. They get lost and spend several days trying to find their way out. Meanwhile, the town searches for them, fearing the worst. In the cave, Tom discovers that Injun Joe is hiding there, which terrifies him even more. However, Tom and Becky finally find an exit and are rescued. The townspeople then seal the cave to prevent anyone else from getting lost inside. Chapter 8. The Treasure. After his ordeal in the cave, Tom reveals to Judge Thatcher, Becky's father, that Injun Joe was hiding there. When the cave is reopened, they find Injun Joe dead from starvation. Tom and Huck then search the cave more thoroughly and discover the treasure Injun Joe had hidden. The boys become rich and are hailed as heroes. Judge Thatcher takes an interest in Tom's future, while the widow Douglas, a kind woman in the town, adopts Huck in an attempt to civilize him. Although Huck initially resists, he eventually agrees to stay with her. Chapter 9. Growing Up. Tom and Huck's adventures bring them closer together, but they also begin to grow up. Tom continues to dream of adventures, while Huck starts to see the value of a more stable life, even though he still longs for his freedom. The novel ends with Tom planning more adventures, hinting at the further escapades he and Huck will have. Despite the dangers they've faced, the boys remain undaunted and ready for whatever comes next.